Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minutes, a daily podcast which we smash apart the films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco, and have you ever worn contacts?
I'm wearing them right now.
Are you? Now, are they soft or...
They are soft. I think they only make soft now. I think they realize hard are actually dangerous and they stop making them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then, okay. Well, so my entire time in high school and college...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You were having little razors
because I have
in your
astigmatism,
yeah.
So you had to have the semi-hard, right?
Yep.
Now, if you've ever worn those, and I think that... and you'll see where I'm going with this, because we're going to get to the eyes, right?
It's all about
in
eyes.
the 1970s Incredible Hulk show, Bill Bixby wore the contacts, right, for this. When you had those,
and Lou Ferrigno too,
and Lou Ferrigno,
yeah,
those semi-hard, because that's how you would do that kind of color.
Yeah,
I was crazy when you'd first put them in. Every time you blinked, you would
move
feel your eyelid slide over the bump, and what would happen is you would just get numb to it. You'd get used to it, and then after a while, the feeling would go away. It's not because it would go away; it's because your body just said, "Oh, okay, so this is a thing now. We're just gonna
it just accepts it.
We're just gonna accept it, and it'll fade into the background."
Yeah.
Yikes! So here's the deal: when it comes to the eyes, let's have a round of applause for computer graphics.
Yes, that allows you to take that. Every time I hear, even on The Witcher, they use contacts, and I was like.
Why?
I know why. I'm like, CG is so good. It's so easy to do that over the eyes. Why would you do that to your actors?
That's my point. Like, why would you do that? Don't do that.
I've gotten to a certain. I guess I've gotten to a certain age now, where as a fan, I was like, you know what? It doesn't have to be authentic. I'm happy with the actor being more comfortable.
Just the whole thing. When you know how uncomfortable it is.
Yeah.
Why would you add that? That's like just literally like sticking a thorn in your side or something, right? Like,
right.
No, don't focus on the acting.
Yeah. It's all about the eyes here on minute 24 of Louis Leterrier's 2008 Incredible Hulk
So now
movie.
this is it. Okay, so now let me tell you it.
Oh, yeah, it's about to go down.
24th minute.
Title character is about to show up.
This is the whole thing. This is why we done this.
That's right.
For this moment. This is it. And it happens within the first 5 seconds.
That's right. Yeah, because we see the time tick over up into 200. So what the significance of 200 is?
It's not 300. No.
It's how many episodes that 70s show had.
Oh, I don't think.
You don't think that's a connection?
I think the heart rate of 200, I think, is really bad.
That's probably really bad, yeah. In case you're wondering, the Incredible Hulk television series only had 80 episodes, so they didn't meet that magical 100 for syndication.
Oh.
So. But yeah, so at 200, then things are about to get incredible. So we see some stretching. I love the effect of the heart monitor pops off and you see it hit the thing next to one of the tufts, and you see the band has been ripped.
Oh, so
like it's not even like it doesn't break the buckle, like it rips through the side of it. It's
so
a great.
You get these three things. You get immediately. You get heart rate monitor.
Yep.
We get the moment of the eyes.
Yes, the eyes.
So it's beautifully shaded.
Yep.
Darkness. We get to see Ed Norton's eyes, and when he opens them, the music cuts out, which is one, and I do want to talk about this, is completely different than what everyone grew up with the beloved 70s series.
Yeah.
When Bill Bixby, his eyes would happen, you would hear a sound like this.
Yeah.
And growing up, that sound, like, and if you listen to that, you'll hear the growling, like, because that's the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
But that sound of, dun,
that's a stinger. That's a horror movie thing.
Yes.
When something bad happens, like nah, like the violins go, or
totally from classic horror, right? You just knew that sound was happening. Now, I think the way they did this, it's the absence of sound. So it's the whole sucking everything out of the room at the moment you see this. But then the other thing is, and we talked about this at the beginning about contacts, when Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno had them, the eyes were these really tiny pupils.
And apparently they gave him horrible tunnel vision.
Well, yes, that
only see out of that little.
That's the problems we talked about with the contacts. But it gave the eyes this surreal, completely unreal appearance because tiny little pupils and the color is this bright sort of not even like green, it's almost like white, which is what makes it look so bad. This version I love.
Yeah.
Deep green, wide pupils, because again, he's in darkness.
Yes.
So you can stick.
Yes, it's glowing green.
It's glowing green, and just the way this looks, it's
a
just
great shot.
Pops.
It's a
It is
nice
a fantastic
homage,
shot.
but also a really cool version of doing their own thing.
I don't want to use the cliche of they made it their own, but
That they did.
but you know what? This is really well done.
Yeah. When they cut away, then we see that Saunders is looking and he says, "Is anyone else seeing this?" And what he's seeing is basically the writhing legs, and then one of those legs starts to grow and rip through the pants.
Right.
Like, am I the only one seeing this, guys?
Well, and I like this because this is, in addition to one seeing the eyes, seeing, as we talked, you said the heart monitor, that prop that has been along our whole story so far.
That's right.
Is now gone.
Right.
I love that Saunders saying this is a little bit like breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah,
like
a little bit.
Are y'all seeing this? Because what is happening?
Yeah, I know. The thing is that this is when the lack of intelligence in this squad is going to be detrimental.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So we get to see from his perspective in the night vision. And then we see Pedro decides he's going to put the boots to Bruce.
Yeah.
Runs up, and then something stops him, and we hear this horrible sound. Now, once again, we talked about last episode, my sound effects thing. It's probably celery. Celery is usually used. They snap celery, and it sounds like bones breaking. Or and you can do it slowly to make the, but I think that's probably what it was, because you hear this horrible, sickening sound.
Crunch.
This horrible crunch. And then he's whoosh, and then off, he's yanked into the shadows. Into
the darkness.
Yeah, upside down. So it wasn't even like he tripped and fell, like something like yanked him off his feet.
So he gets his now. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So that whole hating this character.
That's right. Pedro's about to get it.
But you've also got the big tease that is going to happen over the course of these next few minutes is, what are we dealing with? This is not the first Incredible Hulk movie. We have the series. Mm-hmm. How big is this creature? Right. And this is the first inkling you got when you see him get picked up and you realize...
Yeah, he was up.
He's going up into the air, upside. We're knowing that we're dealing with something pretty big.
That's right. Yeah, we're seeing a sense of the scale. This happens. We see Blonsky rips off his goggles.
Right.
Because obviously now we know that he actually could not see, the actor couldn't see anything off of them, so good for him.
Sure.
He takes them off. They cut to the command center.
The van.
And there's Ross and Spar
right
there. And Ross seems confused. It's like, of all of us here, you're the only one who knows what's going on.
So that's
like,
a good point.
You know that he's transforming, and he's looking on the screen like, I wonder what's happening in there. Well, you know what's happening. You know what's about to go down.
Or is his moment thinking, I was really hoping that this wasn't going to happen. I was really hoping it wouldn't come to this.
Yeah.
This is really not good.
So my question to you is, and I don't have an answer for this. This isn't a gotcha moment. But as they're doing this, it's him and Spar watching the readouts, probably even watching, like in Aliens, they're watching the readouts from the thing, presumably. We don't actually see what they see, but I assume that they're listening and watching.
Probably they have split screens of all the different views of what everyone is seeing.
Right. Does Spar know about the Hulk?
Oh.
I mean, she's been with Ross. She's been along all the way. I don't remember any part from the previous one that she definitely said. I mean, she knows he's hunting for Bruce, and there's about the Gamma, because she's the one that brought the information about the tainted Pingo Dose that went to Milwaukee that Stan Lee drunk. But does she know what's about to happen? Does she know that he is the Hulk?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, and maybe and as we go along, maybe we'll find out. Further on in the thing.
You would think, okay, so based on what we know from
based
what
on
we've seen...
based on what we know from what we've seen,
I'm going to say no, because here he just pulled this whole commando group, and military operation, need-to-know basis, right?
Sure, I mean, Bruce has government secrets.
That's right.
So I mean, like, this is a legitimate operation to get back someone who has stolen military secrets.
Right. So even if they themselves are the secret.
Yes.
Right.
And that's the secret. The secret is that he's the secret.
So I'm going to say no. She doesn't know because at this point, she hasn't had to know.
Okay. Need to know.
Yeah.
Compartmentalize.
Need to know basis.
She knows he was involved in the Gamma Project.
Right.
That he's on the run, but she does not know that. Okay. So she's
that's
about
my
to learn
take.
something day too. So then they cut back to. There's Nick in the yellow and Julio in the blue, stand there looking around like,
they have the greatest.
What just happened?
I mean, we're looking at it right now. Like they have the greatest like, what should we run? Because
are we done punching the guy?
What's
now?
happened?
As they're looking into this darkness, as then Pedro's body comes flying out between the two of them, and then busts through two windows and then into like a metal wall. Crunch.
Two things about this scene.
Yes.
That happens in 2 seconds. One, great comedy moment of the body hurling between the two of them where they do the whole, like their heads turn, right? And it's really funny.
Yeah.
And then you see what happens to Pedro.
Right.
And Pedro goes crashing through an office.
Yeah.
And hits a solid wall.
Yeah.
And thunks.
And down to the
and
ground.
you go, that guy's done.
Yeah, his bullying days are over.
No, I mean, it's just, I think it's a kind of funny juxtaposition of, haha,
yeah, it's like, oh.
It's a great effect, too, because if you actually go through it frame by frame, some great CG work.
Yeah, it really is.
It's good. The motion blur, everything. Yeah. His body is it's tumbling through the air.
Yeah.
And, we've seen these effects with these particle effects that, when you're going through a solid structure and there's shattering of stuff. But it's good. It really does look great. And it's helped by, again, the shadowy area.
That's the whole thing we're doing here is playing a lot with the shadows. Because then as the two of them turn back, so it looks like the Hulk did this from a seated position because he stands up then.
Oh, right.
So like he was like, I guess he was on one knee maybe, like he was down because then.
Well, remember he's still on the ground. Remember he's still.
Well, yeah, he yanked him off.
Right.
He yanked Pedro into the darkness,
right.
though. So he had to be at least up a little bit,
right?
And because he was off his feet. But then because you see the shoulders. That's all you pretty much see in the shadows. Just these massive shoulders standing up.
Right.
As the two guys go,
we're getting just a little hint.
Here.
And again, what a great. We're slowly getting to this.
Yeah.
How you were choosing to reveal the actual creature.
Right. So we've seen the strength.
Right.
And now we're starting to see the size.
Right.
So as he stands up and then the two of them run and then something lunges out of the shadows. It really, really fast, like maybe a frame. You can see like a face or something too, and then whoosh, it's gone.
Right. And we have a lot of stuff cut
Ross, like, oh no.
Yeah, we have a lot of things that cut into this. We have Ross. He's freaking out.
Yeah, because now we hear the roar.
Right.
And that's when he's like, oh no.
And we got the commandos running, and we have this amazing shot that. If you put headphones on and you listen to this, the shot of the commando going past Pedro, and we have the shot of Pedro on the ground, crumpled mess,
right?
And you hear him,
like still alive,
but I mean barely alive.
But yeah, he does give a groan as he goes by.
But the implication is he's gonna die.
Well, that's the question. I mean, it becomes the Hulk is clearly a monster. But, like, is he a murderer? Like, Ross gave his list of 5 things, of 5 people that supposedly were...
Pedro's dead.
You think Pedro's not going to make it?
I don't think Pedro's
going to Pedro's not going to be,
no, I think...
having
because I think there's another one coming in the next 3 seconds. So we do have...
This is also a PG-13.
Yeah.
So you can't show flat-out murder.
So as
by
exactly
your lead character,
implied,
not the character that's on all the kids' pajamas. You can't show him actually on screen killing people,
crumpled people.
Yeah, no. Crumpling people is fine.
So it is if you go in this chase now ensues, and with our remaining the yellow shirt and blue shirt toughs.
Yep.
But we do see, if you pause it, you can see our first full shot of the Hulk's face as he emerges from the shadows. It's very fast. You'll miss it in regular speed, but we actually do get that, and we get a little bit of a hint of the size. I mean, he's enormous.
He's enormous. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. These guys are probably close to 6 feet tall. I think
the yellow guys.
Nick, I think is at least. I can look up his actual
he
thing,
looks.
That means the Hulk is probably 10 feet tall.
10 to 12.
10 to 12. Yeah. Because as they're running, then Nick of the Yellow gets yanked back into darkness. This is one of my favorite stunts that they do. This is a wire rig. This is called a rapid retractor. Basically, they have an engine setup that just all it does is just pull a cord, and so like your actors have it on, and he runs and runs and runs, and they activate it, and it just yanks them back.
And where does he go? Is there a padding?
Yeah, there's usually a pad. There usually is like a pad built up, standing up, like a vertical pad, and they just slam into it.
Well, it's really well done.
It's really well done. It's one of my favorite. And like they do it all the time. Whatever you see, like on the pirate movies, when they get like when someone gets hit by something, it's usually they're being yanked backwards. And very rarely is someone actually hit like on their front of their body that pushes them.
Right. It's
they
always
always pull.
Always pull.
It's pull because it's a lot easier on their bodies, and they just usually CG in something that's hitting them. So when someone gets punched across a room, they're usually being rapid retracted back.
Now, this scene has a moment of, I think, comic genius, because there is a resulting moment from him being pulled back by the Hulk, and that's his shoe.
Well, a single shoe drops on her. So last week, or I think it was minute 22, I made the joke about the padlock.
Right.
I actually found this shoe.
Of course you did.
I was going to make a joke about like, oh, this is clearly, and I actually found the shoe because sneakerheads are scary. They really know their stuff, and so this is actually a Nike Cortez Basic Leather 06.
Yes.
It really. I mean, like I was like I said, I'm like I'm just gonna get a bunch of words together and make a joke about it, but no, that's actually really what it was. They actually figured out exactly what shoe was. Made in South America. It's a South American Nike shoe.
That's amazing.
The Cortez, yeah.
Okay,
right?
Way to go, prop people, costume people,
I know,
like
right?
wardrobe.
I know, and for all we know, that's Nick's real shoe that he got while he was down there filming. You know.
Well, no, and this is the interior shot,
right? Oh, that's true. He didn't even need to be there for that.
No,
so that's either props or costuming.
Yes.
Like kudos, guys. Like
Way to go.
Way to go, team.
Wait, that's a real. Oh,
yeah.
That's fantastic.
And so then Julio runs past, and out the movie, he's the one guy in all this stuff who's the smartest man in this whole group. Julio just keeps on trucking. I love that he just blows right past the commandos.
No,
that's a great shot of them all like militaried up with their weapons and just.
No, you miss it. This is a moment you'll blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
There's our main bad guy, right? He's standing there flanked by the commandos, and we see Julio just runs around them, and he's gone. Now, it would have been too much. But had he done that and one of the back commandos just turned his gun backwards and tranked him and he would have fallen, I think I would have found that very funny.
Yeah, true. But so Julio went on to live a long and successful life. Like he's only telling people this story for the rest of his life.
Not probably at this bottling plant anymore.
No, I don't think so. This is what I love. Oh, you have it too. Yeah, my favorite line to this. We've got a bogey of some kind. Please advise. Now this is before we get into the response. So I looked at. I'm like. That's a weird word choice. So I'm going to look that up. Bogey is actually the wrong word for them to use in this situation.
That's what we were hoping we were going to talk about.
So what I imagine is that this is probably like looping. Like there's a team that goes in afterwards and just drops in lines, just to try to flesh things out. It's not always done by the actors. There's a whole group that has sound-alikes. So you don't bring Tim Roth in to do one line. You have somebody that sounds like Tim Roth to do one line because nobody really notices and it's going by really, really, really fast.
Right.
So, and this is obviously just by one of the commandos, so they could just have any tough guy sounding thing say that. A bogey is actually used for aircraft.
Correct.
It's an aircraft term. So these commandos would not actually use that term for a known target.
When this happened,
it's military jargon, so you use it there. But no, it's not really ever used this way
to the average person.
Yeah, who doesn't do a podcast minute by minute about a movie.
Here's what the script called for you to acknowledge that these guys there's something else going on here.
Yes.
We don't know what it is, and you want to emphasize the moment that they see this as something different than the target.
Yes.
So how else could you have done that in one word?
Right. Yeah. Because there's someone else here with us. Is their thing? There's and something obviously because they're not used to seeing 10-foot.
So although incorrect usage. Creatively, artistically, I understand why they did that.
Yeah, exactly. And then Ross responds, "That is the target. Use every trank you've got.
Do it now." Now, do we get in the infrared screen?
Yes.
Do we get another name?
We do. That's as far as I could tell. The font is a little hard to read, but as far as I can do it was J. Armo Brewster. And we don't know which one that is because
Right.
they're all together at this
Right.
point. So I couldn't figure out who J. Armor was in this minute. But yeah, we do know one of the other commandos' name is Armo Brewster.
But again, cool that
Yeah.
for whatever reason that they have assigned actual names to these commandos.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I took a shot at the sound department last time for the
Mm-hmm.
squeaky door, but I will rescind it now.
Are
Because
you back?
I'm back because the sound design on this is so good.
Yeah.
This has got to be like the dream come true for a sound department. Of like, okay, what we need is we need tranq darts being fired at high velocity at a large, meat essentially.
Impermeable.
Right, that they bounce off and then crash to the ground, and then a giant foot steps on them. This is a gorgeous piece of sound design because you look at it and listen to it and go, yes, that's exactly what that would sound like.
And my note. Okay, so you've got the sound. So kudos to sound.
Yes, kudos to sound.
You also then have the optics of what they're presenting.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Which is so well done for this purpose. Yes, you got the back, and yes, you wanted to see the tranks bouncing off him, which immediately establishes, oh, wow. If you didn't know anything about Incredible Hulk, you're learning a lot here right now.
Yeah.
But this shot of the foot
Yes.
smashing the tranks, I would make this the equivalent to if you've ever seen the 2009 Star Trek reboot by JJ.
Okay.
When they first reveal the Enterprise, they actually make the Enterprise extend past the edges of the screen.
Oh,
and the point of that, this is something in director commentary,
Mm-hmm.
that's how they wanted to emphasize the size of this ship.
Okay.
The size is way bigger than what you've been accustomed to in the Star Trek universe. So that's one of the ways you do that. Here's kind of what they did here.
That's very true.
Take something that you don't perceive as big, a foot, and fill the screen with it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's almost edge to edge.
I mean,
from
it's
big toe
literally
to
almost
pinky
edge
toe.
to edge. That gives you, as an audience member in a theater, you just go, oh, this is really big. And then put it sort of into the size of the scale with the tranquilizers. Because this puts the tranquilizers at about the size of his little toenail.
Yeah, true. Because we've seen the darts like on the back of one of the toughs got hit by one, and we also saw it sticking out of the dog. So you have an idea from just a couple of minutes ago.
Well, these are being shot out of weapons that they're holding.
So they're bigger than bullets.
Right, they're 3 to 4 inches long.
Right, and we've seen them sticking out, so we know how. And
we already see that the little toe is bigger than these.
Yeah.
And just that whole shot, what a great establishing shot. And you wouldn't think of that, a foot, right?
Yeah,
like
right.
The foot.
Right. You're showing little pieces, and you just have to put it together in your mind.
This is excellent storytelling on this character.
And they cut to Tim Roth,
Oh.
who is seeing the Hulk, even though we're not seeing it. And this now, people get on this movie about not showing us the Hulk fast enough, not getting to this stuff too, and there is a point to that. My friend Lori is a writer, and so one of the shorthands we talk
Lori.
about.
Hi, Lori.
Hey, shout out to Lori. She was actually on the episodes of My Movie Minute for Iron Man.
Oh,
she did a couple of those. But her thing is about King Kong, and so the shorthand between us is get to the monkey.
Right.
Like, there's so much prelude. It's like the movie's called King Kong. I paid money to see King Kong. Why do I have to wait an hour and a half to see King Kong? And so like we use that as a shorthand of just get to the good stuff. However, doing it like this is horror movie 101.
Right.
Where you get to see all this stuff, and you cut to Tim Roth, and Tim Roth sees the Hulk, and we see him see the Hulk for the first time. And that's huge.
Now, and it's huge because here's why it works so well here. Everything we've known about Tim Roth's character, he's had the great hero introduction off the helicopter.
Yes.
He's a badass.
Yes.
And that face is not the face of a badass.
No.
That's the face of a small child who went, I'm done.
I've never seen anything like this before. Like, there's a lot an actor can do with a look. And, just looking at him, sort of like there's so much going on in terms of, like, fear and awe.
This is fear.
And, yeah. It's clearly that's the thing. That also helps sell the monster. Because we're seeing him react to the monster, and he's tougher than all of us.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. So then we get to see some pretty big CG here of like the Hulk actually shoving those tanks, probably full of Pingo Doce, out of the way as coming through, and then the commandos. I believe that's Johnny Mac. screams out, "Go live! Go live! Go live!"
And that's the sign to say go from tranquilizers to live ammunition.
Well, we don't know because that's where the minute ends.
Oh, wait, what?
It ends on them screaming, "Go live!"
This was
And
crazy.
maybe they're going to start live streaming. We don't know. We won't find out until minute 25.
Could you live stream at the time this was done? I don't even know.
2008 now.
No,
probably. I mean, in terms of movie, in military and stuff too. Yeah, maybe.
Ustream. I think that was the thing. That was before. Oh my god. All right.
So
I can't wait to see what happens.
I know. So like the Hulk is running at them, and they're screaming, "Go live!" What's going to happen? You'll have to tune in next time to find out. So in the meantime, how's your wardrobe looking? It's 2020. It might be time to get some new stuff. Well, we got you covered. If you'd like some Marvel Movie Minute or the next reel-inspired clothing, or maybe even a mug to go along with as you're listening to us talk about the interesting things going on in this movie, we've got you covered. Go to thenextreel.com/merch, and you can find all kinds of stuff on there. I believe you even find one of the logo with our ugly mugs on it.
Okay,
our ugly mugs on your beautiful mug.
On your mug. Here's the deal. You do this. First of all, why would you do this? Because you love this movie. You love the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Sure.
We hope you love this podcast. Mm-hmm. So you want to show your support for that. That's how you support the podcast. Mm-hmm. But then you get the merch. You take a picture of yourself with the merch. Mm-hmm. You send it to us on all the different
we're on all
social networks, right? For everything. We not only do you earn our respect and love and adoration, mm-hmm. we will show your photo everywhere.
Yes,
we will make you just an absolute banner of hopefully getting people to more support and people to buy more merch.
We will tag you.
Yes, you will be our friend.
That's right,
for life.
That's right. So thanks you all for listening. I hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.